Ted Kennedy, born Edward Moore Kennedy, on February 22, 1932, in Brookline, Massachusetts, was a prominent U.S. senator, statesman, and member of the influential Kennedy family. Often called the Lion of the Senate for his long-standing influence and dedication to social justice, Ted was the youngest of 9 children in the Kennedy family. His parents, Joseph P. Kennedy Sr. and Rose Fitzgerald Kennedy, held high expectations for their children, instilling in them a commitment to public service. Ted's early life was marked by the family's privilege and tragedy. The Kennedys were a powerful political family with deep roots in Massachusetts, but they faced considerable personal losses, including the untimely deaths of Ted's siblings, Joe Jr., Kathleen, John, and Robert, all of whom shaped his worldview and career. Joe Jr., the eldest son, was initially expected to carry on the family's political legacy, but his death in World War II redirected those expectations to Ted's older brothers, John and Robert. The family was in the public eye, and these losses deeply affected Ted, fueling his commitment to public service and his eventual role as the family's torchbearer. Ted attended Harvard University, but his academic journey was not without controversy. He was expelled for cheating on a Spanish exam in his sophomore year, although he was later readmitted and graduated in 1956. He then served in the U.S. Army, which gave him some distance from the family spotlight, allowing him time to mature before entering politics. He later attended the University of Virginia Law School, graduating in 1959. The following year, he campaigned for his brother John's successful presidential bid, marking the beginning of his career in public service. In 1962, Ted Kennedy was elected to the U.S. Senate from Massachusetts in a special election to fill the seat vacated by his brother, John, who had ascended to the presidency. This victory established him as the third Kennedy brother to serve in national office. He quickly proved his legislative prowess and joined forces with key senators, becoming a prominent figure in the Democratic Party. Known for his charisma, intelligence, and dedication, Ted's early years in the Senate showcased his ability to work across the aisle, which would become a hallmark of his career. However, Ted's political ascent was marred by personal struggles and scandals. In 1969, his involvement in a car accident on Chappaquiddick Island, where his car went off a bridge, resulting in the death of 28-year-old Mary Jo Kopechne, profoundly impacted his public image and political ambitions. His failure to report the accident for several hours raised questions about his character, and many believe it ended his hopes for the presidency. Though he was re-elected to the Senate, the incident left a lasting stain on his legacy. Despite this setback, Ted Kennedy remained a powerful figure in the Senate for nearly 5 decades, becoming an advocate for healthcare, civil rights, and social justice. He chaired the Senate Health, Education, Labor, and Pensions Committee, where he championed the passage of numerous significant laws, including the Americans with Disabilities Act, the Children's Health Insurance Program, CHIP, and the Family and Medical Leave Act. His work on healthcare was especially impactful. He viewed healthcare as a fundamental right and was known for his efforts to expand access to affordable healthcare for all Americans. Although he never achieved comprehensive healthcare reform, his dedication laid the groundwork for the Affordable Care Act, signed into law shortly after his death. Ted's personal life was also filled with challenges. His marriage to Joan Bennett in 1958 produced 3 children, but was fraught with difficulties, including Joan's struggles with alcoholism and their eventual divorce in 1982. In 1992, Ted married Victoria Reggie, a lawyer who became a stabilizing influence on his life. Together, they were devoted to family and public service, and Vicky supported Ted through his later years and battles with health issues. Kennedy's influence extended beyond his own legislative work. He mentored younger senators, instilling in them a sense of duty and bipartisanship. Though a liberal stalwart, Ted was respected across the aisle for his ability to work with Republicans on shared goals. His friendship and collaboration with Republican Senator Orrin Hatch, for instance, highlighted his commitment to finding common ground. Their partnership led to significant legislation, including the Ryan White HIV/AIDS program, which provided funding for low-income, uninsured people affected by HIV/AIDS. Ted Kennedy, born Edward Moore. Kennedy, on February 22, 1932, in Brookline, Massachusetts, was a prominent U.S. senator, statesman, and member of the influential Kennedy family. In 2008, Kennedy was diagnosed with a malignant brain tumor, which he battled for over a year. Although his illness kept him from being as active in the Senate, he continued to advocate for healthcare reform. During this period, he endorsed Barack Obama in the 2008 presidential race, a decision that was widely seen as pivotal in helping Obama secure the Democratic nomination. Ted Kennedy passed away on August 25, 2009, at his home in Hyannisport, Massachusetts, leaving behind a legacy of resilience, public service, and progressive change. He had served almost 47 years in the Senate, making him one of the longest-serving senators in U.S. history. Known for his powerful speeches and commitment to equality, Ted Kennedy's contributions were celebrated across the nation, even by those who disagreed with his politics. In death, he was remembered as a champion for the underprivileged and a voice for those often unheard. Kennedy's legacy endures in the laws he helped pass, the lives he touched, and the many who continue to be inspired by his dedication to justice and equity. His life exemplifies the complexities of public service, marked by both triumphs and tragedies, and his name remains synonymous with the fight for social reform and bipartisanship in American politics.